Mythical creatures from down under, Australia style. Here we go. Let's jump right into this. This is from a channel called Slapped Ham. It's be in the description down below, like always. This is a Discord suggestion from PJ Pete, so thank you guys very much.
The following mythical creatures are said to have haunted Australia for centuries. But just quickly, before we take a look at these legendary beasts, remember to hit that subscribe button for more interesting, creepy content just like this.
Let's
the
go.
Hawkesbury River Monster is a little bit like Australia's answer to Scotland's Loch Ness Monster.
Ooh, yeah, it
This
is.
creature is said to live in the waters of the Hawkesbury River in New South Wales.
Wow.
The monster has been described as being as long as 30 feet by those who claim they've seen it. People fishing in the river have reported seeing a creature with a snake-like head moving along in the water. Some witnesses claim that the monster has a set of flippers. The colour of the river monster is said to be grey or black.
Okay.
Historians have actually discovered
Ooh.
paintings that depict the monster dating back thousands of years. Many believe that the Hawkesbury River Monster is some sort of elusive prehistoric creature that has managed to escape extinction.
100%.
Others believe the monster is a sinister entity that seeks to drag its victims into the water.
Yuck. So that I totally think is plausible, no matter who you are. I mean, the freakiest thing about our beautiful planet Earth is that so much of it is underwater. So we know so many countries and cities, and it feels like it's big, right? But it's really small. Like, think of how much of the Earth is actually water. That's mind-blowing. We barely live on, like, a fraction of the Earth if you really think about it. And, isn't it scientific fact that, I don't know the percentage, but it's like a low percentage of creatures they have identified underwater. Like, we know there's probably a million or more things that we've never even really seen or truly studied and identified underwater, which is crazy. And the truly alien-like things, truly different, bizarre creatures are underwater. That's in my opinion. Even the ones we know about are super weird. So yeah, could I believe that there probably is some dinosaur-like, prehistoric, weird, huge animal or creature that could live underwater and is just so low numbered and so rarely seen? Of course, I think that's very plausible. It's especially bizarre when you have old records and old paintings and such of creatures that are just truly bizarre.
In addition to having its own version of the Loch Ness Monster,
Bigfoot.
Australia also has its own version of Bigfoot. The famous Yowie is described as a large gorilla that inhabits the vast wilderness of the Australian outback. The Yowie walks upright like a man, however its feet are much larger based on footprints that have been discovered.
I'm on the fence with
Sightings
Bigfoot and
continue to
Yowies.
this day. Residents on Oxley Island have claimed to hear animal-like noises at night that are often attributed to this mysterious beast. The Yowie has become an...
I'm on the fence with them because I feel like, again, they're kind of possible, right? It's not that far-fetched of an animal idea, I guess. But they're so elusive, aren't they, right? How has no one seen one? It's kind of interesting.
An endearing symbol of Australian folklore. There's even a popular statue of a Yowie in Kilcoy, Queensland.
Wow.
Several wildlife experts and television personalities have even gone in search of the Yowie throughout the years.
Haven't they? What's your position on them? Real or
Most
fake?
people who visit Australia expect to encounter some koala bears. However, nobody expects to see a drop bear.
How the hell
The
did
drop
this
bear
make
is
the
a
list?
product of contemporary Australian folklore. This creature is essentially a toothy, terrifying version of the koala we all know and love. It's said that leopard-sized drop bears
We know
lurk
this
in
one's real.
treetops and drop down to attack unsuspecting victims. They have dark fur, powerful arms and hands with a deadly grip, and their molars are said to be very large for shredding flesh.
I hear, shredding like American flesh and, foreign flesh, right?
Most people dismiss myths about drop bears as being nothing more than tactics to drum up excitement for tourists.
That's right.
However, you just never know what you might encounter out there in the untamed Australian wilderness.
Yeah, you never know. If I see one of those, I'm going to have to... It's going to get ugly.
The Kinakera is a creature from Australian Aboriginal mythology that's been described by those who have seen it as being part human and part quoll. Quoll is a marsupial that resembles a Tasmanian devil.
Okay.
Some people even consider quolls to be cute. However, the Kinakera is anything but cute. It has the wild, gnashing teeth of a quoll, but the limbs and body of a human. This predator has an insatiable thirst for blood and stalks the Australian bush looking for innocent people to kill.
Whoa.
According to legend, when the first Kinakera...
That's kind of like, not exactly, but kind of like, I could picture out in the bush, out in the desert, similar to down here in like New Mexico, Arizona, country of Mexico, kind of like a chupacabra, kind of. You know
was destroyed, it shrank down and became the first ever quoll.
Maybe smaller though. Maybe.
The Yarama Yahoo is a unique creature that has terrified Australia for centuries. This creature can be best described as a cross between a goblin and a vampire.
Yeah, that's
Tales of
gross.
This Australian terror originate from Aboriginal folklore. The Yarama Yahoo is a short, frog-like man with red skin and a giant head. He has no teeth, but instead has suckers on the ends of his hands and feet.
Oh, weird.
This mysterious beast likes to hide in trees and wait for victims to come passing by. He jumps on his prey and uses his tentacle-like suckers on his hands and feet to feast on their blood.
Oh,
the creature will then take a nap and vomit its meal back up. Victims are sometimes alive when they're spewed out.
Oh, jeez.
It's believed that the Yarama Yahoo live in the foliage of fig trees. Children in Australia are often warned not to play near them lest they fall victim to this terrifying creature of Australian folklore.
That's pretty terrifying, that one. Gotta admit. That's pretty weird.
The Bunyip is a popular spirit monster that comes from the Aboriginal people of Victoria. It's thought of as a sort of evil spirit that lurks in rivers and lakes. In addition, Europeans recorded their own accounts of bunyips as they settled across Australia. Aboriginals and settlers have depicted the bunyip in a number of ways throughout history. Some of the common features that have been reported include a dog-like face, dark fur, flippers, tusks, and a horse-like tail. But some locals even described it like a giant starfish.
Now that's
in the mid-19th century, English explorer George French Angus collected accounts of the mythical creature, but discovered that the indigenous population was so terrified of the beast that they had a hard time describing it.
Wow.
The bunyip is known to sleep in rivers, swamps, and other wet areas during the daylight hours. The creature then comes out at night in search of animals and people to feast on. You'll know you're in trouble if you hear the screams of a bunyip deep in the black of the Australian night.
Jeez. So yeah, you got to comment down below, like, which of these are your favorite, which of these are fun to you, which of these you're terrified of, and most of all, which of these you think are any chance to be real, which of these are totally real, you've seen one, or which of these are total BS, right? So the first couple, when it comes to like the Yowie, Bigfoot, and like the Loch Ness type monster they showed, things like that are plausible. Like I said, I sort of believe like that could be true. The last few are a little hard for me to believe. I think they're a little out there. I think they're fun. I think the stories are fun, but I definitely think they're a little bit too out there for me to totally embrace. Then again, I don't know everything about them, and they could be real. I'm not really sure, right? They're just a little crazy, extreme, exotic. But yeah, you guys got to let me know how you feel about these, and if you agree or disagree with me. Let's continue on.
Papinawari are unusual creatures that are said to prey on the sick and fragile.
Ooh.
Northern Aboriginal people in Australia believe that these beasts live at the end of the sky. Legends say that shooting stars are actually Papinawari flying through the sky with fire sticks in their hands. Papinawari are said to feed on the bodies of the dead and drink the blood of the sick.
Wow.
These one-eyed beasts can smell their victims from miles away. They'll then make themselves small enough to slip into the body of the sick person undetected and consume them from the inside.
Well, that's just terrible. Yuck. Also, I know some of these, a couple of these have been like ancient myths, ancient legends, especially from like Aboriginal culture, presumably, right? So these are really interesting, right? I find really everything from their culture that I've seen extremely interesting, intriguing, way different, right? And that's awesome. And the thing is, they've been around a long, long time, especially around Australia, right? They were there long, long, long before most people can say they were there, right? So they've seen some shit. You never know. You never know, really.
The Malingi is an eerie nocturnal creature that is known by the Australian Aboriginal people as something to be avoided. These solitary creatures prefer to stay away from human contact, however things can turn ugly very quickly if this creature is provoked. Malingis are often depicted carrying very sharp stone knives and will viciously kill anyone if startled. These ancient creatures are said to have stone knees that you can hear scraping together should you get too close. Those who have seen the creature claim that it has eyes that smolder like the orange coals of a fire.
Oh, man. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I'm hoping that's not real.
South Australia's Murray River hides a dark secret.
Don't want to see that one.
A terrible creature called the Mulgervank is said to lurk beneath the surface of the muddy waters. Stories and descriptions of the Mulgervank vary from region to region. Some believe that an entire race of merman-like creatures live in the winding waters of the Murray. Others claim that there is only a single monster. Many fishermen have discovered their nets destroyed at the hands of the Mulgervank. Historians believe the legend was created to deter children playing in the water. However, there is one terrifying account that seems to make this mythical beast all too real. Early European settlers claimed that their steamboat was attacked by a mysterious creature. The captain said that two very large hands grabbed the hull of the boat. As he took aim at the giant beast, Aboriginal elders who were on board warned not to shoot. They said it would bring about a terrible curse. The captain ignored their pleas and fired upon the monster. Soon after, he broke out in red weeping sores and died in agony 6 months later.
Oh, man. Oh, jeez. He didn't listen. He did not listen.
Before we get to that number one spot and take a look at a mysterious giant cat. It's commonly accepted that big cats do not inhabit Australia. However, that hasn't stopped people from whispering about the Gippsland Phantom Cat for decades. The Gippsland Phantom Cat is a creature that comes from Australia's modern folklore. This spooky feline is said to stalk rural areas of Victoria, with hundreds of sightings reported since the 1970s.
Wow.
There are a few theories about what these giant cats might actually be. Some say the sightings have supernatural origins. They say they're ghosts or demons that take the form of large, sleek cats that prowl Australia's grasslands. Others claim that the animals are actually large feral cats that have grown in size over the years.
Could be.
There's also a belief among some that the Gippsland Phantom Cat is a puma-like creature that was released by the United States military during World War II as part of a secret program.
What?
Victoria isn't...
It did look like a puma or a panther almost, right? Could be totally out of its element, right? Instead of being in, the Americas here, it's way over there. It could be different too. It could be a lot of things. This one seems like it's very, very possible, but under what circumstance, right? I mean, I'm sure there could be some crazy cats out there that are overgrown and who knows what. The whole U.S. military releasing it, that's a little
creature that was
a little out there
by the United States military during World War II as part of a secret program. Victoria isn't the only spot where big cats have been spotted in Australia. People have been claiming to see mysterious and exotic cats in the Blue Mountains near Sydney for years. So are the two related? Sadly, as it stands, we may never know.
Yeah, that one's pretty interesting, honestly. But there it is. That is the end of that one. That flew by. That was pretty fun, right? Some of those were really interesting, really possible. Some of them were downright kind of terrifying, and some of them were a good laugh, right? I think you know which one I'm talking about. But yeah, what did you think of those? What did you think of that? Like I said, comment down below. I can't wait to see the comments and interact with you guys down there on this one. Thank you again for Discord for awesome suggestions. Let's keep this channel growing, guys. We're on our way, on the road to 100K. You guys rock. I do appreciate each and every one of you. And we have big announcements coming up on the channel. I have a mail time coming up tomorrow. So you'll see some videos today if you're watching this, soon after it's uploaded. I have a video or two coming up tonight. And tomorrow I will have a mail time, and I have a big announcement in that. So make sure to look for that. Just really, really excited. Here in the United States, it's basically summer. I mean, it's been summer here in New Mexico for like 2 months. It's been, super hot. But yeah, like literal calendar summers coming up, so that's exciting. Across the world, you might be in different seasons depending on where you're at, of course, if you're way down in the southern hemisphere. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, got a laugh out of it, maybe learned something, please throw a thumbs up and a like on this video. I do appreciate it. It helps it out a lot. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Join our amazing community. It's growing, and I love each and every one of you. This is an amazing, amazing community here. And also, check that description out for the Discord, for other ways you can interact with me like that. Facebook and Instagram are IWrocker. You can watch this original video uninterrupted down in the description, of course. And that being said, guys, my name is Ian. You're watching IWrocker, and until next time, stay safe out there. Stay away from these guys. I'll catch you later.